Hello and welcome to Desktop Station Air. This is a revolutionary new digital control system for model railways. As you can see here, I have a demonstration set of track set up, and I'd like to show you basically how Desktop Air works. One of the overriding major advances has been the introduction of Wi-Fi into the control system. So we have here a Lenovo tablet set up. It has a web browser page displayed on the screen, which is the control page for your model train. Now normally this would be a handheld device that the manufacturer manufactures and supplies with a cable that plugs into a base station that then supplies power to the track. The beauty of Desktop Station is it's all now Wi-Fi from the point of view of the cab control, which is this particular screen. And then down the other end, we actually have the base station, which has got the Wi-Fi built in. Now, to give you an idea of size, we have right beside it a Chinese manufactured Arduino Uno microcontroller board. And on the left here is the Desktop Station board. Now, you'll notice there's a little blinking light on the board. That's telling us that we have power coming onto the board from our switch mode power supply. And I've got that just down here, as you can see on the floor, switch mode power supply with the household current coming in through here. 16 volts I'm running on this system, running up into the control board. Now the basic thing that the layout on the board is as follows. Over here we have a Toshiba SD card, but it's no ordinary SD card. It actually has built inside it a Wi-Fi transmitter and receiver capability. It also has a very small processor unit that is good enough to allow files to be transferred via Wi-Fi off the card, and it can even display a browser page. So it's a browser page server built into that card, together with 16 gigabytes of RAM, which really you'll never get to use in this system. When you send signals from your cab unit via Wi-Fi, it's received here and then sent immediately over to the Atmel 18 Mega 328P-PU microcontroller chip. It's not a processor, it's a microcontroller. It does one thing and it does it very well. Inside here is stored information that's been written by Yasen, the lead developer at Desktop Station, with all the computational variables or CVs. And these are adjusted every time you change something on the screen on your control unit. It comes into here, is processed into digital form, either 0 or 5 volts. And those signals are sent then across to this particular Toshiba chip, which is a H-bridge motor driver. And what that does is pump the signal strength up from 5 volts, which won't drive electric trains, to 16 volts in the particular case of how I've got my system set. And that then sends 16 volts with a particular current type called a copolar current, sends it out to the track, and the decoders on the locomotives then receive the information and they decode and carry out the functions that you've asked the loco to do. Now the two locos we're going to do here today, on the right hand side here you'll see a large General Electric diesel loco. This is manufactured by MTH in the United States, although I think it's actually built in China for them. The interesting thing about this particular model, released in 2015, and it has a -5 part number on the end, a suffix on the end, and that identifies this particular loco as being designed to run on Marklin C-Track. We also have a Marklin diesel loco, 37207, and this is a diesel loco quite commonly found in Northern Europe, in the Netherlands, in Germany and Belgium, and this is an MFX Plus encoder fitted into this particular model. But it runs quite well on Marklin Motorola 2 protocol. So let's go down and see how this system works. And the interesting thing is you can run both DCC and Marklin Motorola 2 protocol locomotives on the same track at the same time, and we will try to do that during the course of this presentation. Now over here we have the screen, and to run you through the screen we have firstly our power on and power off switch up the top. We have choice of either DC or Marklin Motorola for the protocol. Then you can go into your loco address. Now most DCCs come standard out of the box as address number 3, but you can vary that. Marklin, on some of their models, have an address of 20, others have an address of 24. Their ICE high-speed inner city express has an address of 2, so there is a bit of variety in the Marklin arrangement, or the Marklin arrangement. Now to edit that, you simply push on the edit key, and that brings up this box on the screen, and you can then go in and change the address up here on this top line. You've got a backspace bar, a clear, or an OK. So normally when you finish making your changes, you click OK. You'll notice there are other boxes here. This allows you to run multiple locomotives lashed together in double head configurations, and there is a double head button located here. So if you're putting 2 locos together, I don't have them, but I can give you an example. For example, if these were both together on the same track and operating in a typical American way, the drivers would be in the front of the first loco, and the second loco was reversed and connected on here, and that whole loco is operated from the drivers in the front cab. When they get to their end of the destination, they have to swap around. The drivers simply get out of this cab, walk down the loco, across onto this loco and up into this cab, and then they drive the train in this direction with the 2 locos lashed together, and of course their goods wagons on behind. Now to achieve that, what the head developer Yasan has done, he has actually added one extra little button down here. And what this button allows you to do is to actually lock the 2 decoders together. And it will take the preference of the first loco address. So it'll do, say, loco 3 and loco 30, and you click that together. They will both then operate in the same direction at all times until you disconnect the power from your loco, from your model train set. Then the decoders will reset themselves back to their standard configuration. We have a Speedo, and over here we have all our function keys to control the functions of the loco, and it's simply a case of scrolling up and down to get to the function you want. The most common functions, of course, will be at the top, and that makes it very easy just to click on them to get a loco going. Now, along the top line, we have basically the cab, which is what this screen is all about, this browser screen. We also have accessories, and this allows you to actually set up and use your points for point control. And you can actually click on and click these, and they will actually change. It's a press button thing. We'll show you that as we go through the presentation. And the final screen up the top here is configuration. And in here you can actually change the name of your FlashAir card. You can give it your own unique name, and you can also set up a unique password. And then down here for all your accessories, such as the point motors, you can select either DCC or MM2 as the control system. So let's step back out of this screen and go back to cab. So we're back in cab. Let's start things up. Now you'll notice if we look down the track, you can see our little DSair card just very, very slowly flashing in the background. And that's telling us that we've got power up into the card, but nothing to the track. When we go power on, the green light on the top, we'll go down and have a look. The green light on the top now goes solid on. So it means that it's now got power going out to the track, to the locos. We'll now start up this particular loco. We've already got the loco address set. So it's simply a case, in this instance, the right procedure is to start the diesel engine. So we'll click on here. And you can just start to hear the diesel loco firing up. What we'll do now is turn on some lights. And we've got the main front headlight is turned on, and the side charging lights are also working. on this particular model. This is unique to this model. It was a demo unit built back in the around about 2005 to 2010 to show the American railroad companies the new design that GE had come out with in their locos, and this was just a little bit of a flashy thing they built on the loco. Now what we're going to do is run it down the track. So I'll select reverse, and that'll change the headlight to the other direction. So we'll head off at 80 kilometers per hour. So you can see we're going at 80k, and we'll stop.